every clinic, every doctor's office. Most insurance companies cover it completely. We test girls through a thin pap smear, or pap test, which is a scraping of the cervix. Why don't we test boys that way? You don't have one, very good. We're now requiring every woman who's ever had sex to get a pap test yearly. If there is actually a girl sitting in here who is under the age of 22 and you've had sex, sweetheart, you are at absolute highest risk, and you need that yearly pap test. If you were my daughter, it would be every 6 months. Negative pap, ladies, does not mean you don't have the virus. It means you don't yet have cervical cancer. Some of you have heard that there's a vaccine for this virus. 2006, Merck released a vaccine called Gardasil. You may have seen some of the commercials. One less, tell someone. The media made you believe that this was a vaccine for cancer. This is not a vaccine for cancer. This is a vaccine for a sexually transmitted disease. Gardasil is a vaccine for HPV. Here's what you need to know about Gardasil. Gardasil, the vaccine for HPV, is currently only being given to girls. We are not vaccinating any boys at all. We are only vaccinating girls. Gardasil, in order to be somewhat effective, needs to be given to a girl who is in fact a virgin. If you are not a virgin, the vaccine will most likely do no good. Now, they're willing to take your $800 cash. They made $4 billion last year, so they'll probably give it to whoever. But in order for it to be effective, we need you to be a virgin, which is why we were targeting 11 and 12-year-old girls for this vaccine. Ladies, if you are a virgin, or you were a virgin at the time you were vaccinated, Gardasil, given to a virgin girl, is good for 4 out of the 100 strains of this virus. There are 96 strains still there. This in no way guarantees you will not be infected with HPV and does not guarantee you will not get cervical cancer. Ladies, if you were vaccinated as a virgin, once you become sexually active, you will still need regular pap tests. If that did not make sense to you or you didn't get that, please email me. I will send it to you in writing. This is a reducing of the risk of eventual cervical cancer. It is not eliminating it. And my biggest fear, and I'm not going to tell you whether you should get the vaccine or not, that's between you, your parents, your doctor, whatever you decide. What I am telling you is this: it is no guarantee. And even if you become sexually active having been vaccinated, you will still need a pap test. You could still end up with cervical cancer. If that wasn't clear, email me. Boys, HPV is a little annoying. Having warts burned off your genital area is painful, I'm sure, I'm guessing. And I would hate to have to be there, boys, when you had to tell the girl you loved and wanted to marry about every partner you've ever had. I have to know. Hear me carefully. My risk of infection has nothing to do with whether you used a condom or got tested. My risk of infection has everything to do with where you've been. I have to know every single partner you have ever had. It is unconscionable that anyone in this room, and I don't care how old you are or if you're the governor of New York, I don't care. It is unconscionable that anyone in this room would ever have sex with another human being and not honestly tell them everywhere you've been. Every single partner, I have to know. What happens at spring break does not stay at spring break, and adults, what happens in Vegas does not stay in Vegas either. Unbelievable that we think we can lie to our partners about where we've been. Unbelievable. Boys, it's not going to be fun. Maybe you're going to live. Ladies, you had better know where this boy's been, and you better pray to the God above he's not lying, because this is a huge deal for you. HPV is the #1 causal agent of cervical cancer in women. We now have girls as young as 18, 19, and 20 undergoing radical hysterectomies will never have children. In fact, more women died last year in the U.S. from cancer due to this than died of AIDS. I had a young woman my age, very young, come up to me in tears in Missouri a couple weeks ago, who had just undergone a radical hysterectomy, and they are not sure they got all the cancer. She said, "No one said this to us. No one told us. No one ever told me." I had a senior come up to me last year being all tough, came right up to me. She goes, "I got cervical cancer, I got it in the 9th grade. This means she got the virus in the 7th or 8th. She goes, "I've had numerous cryosurgeries, freezings in my cervix. The cancer is now spread to my uterus. They're doing a hysterectomy next week." 3 weeks before she graduated from high school. She's being real tough. She said, "Pam, kids are noisy, smelly, cost a lot of money, and I don't want one." And she got a little teary. She said, "I'm just trying to deal with the fact that I'm going to have to tell the man I love and want to marry that if he marries me, neither will he." Is it worth this, girls? Because he said he loved you? Because you needed to be popular? because everybody else was doing it. It's worth this. Do you realize that we've had more deaths among women because of this, and we're not telling our daughters this? No one's talking about it. I've been talking about this since 1996. Go back and watch my first video. I've been talking about HPV since the beginning. I was the only one. And now some pharmaceutical company is going to make $4 billion, and now we have to listen to one less tell. So where were they when my daughter was in high school? Where were they? Nowhere. Because there wasn't cash involved. Unbelievable. Two things you need to know about HPV. Number one is this. Students, hear me carefully. They now estimate that 67% of the teenagers who have had sex, that's a specific group, that's not all of you. Many of you in here have never had sex, you're a virgin. You can run out of here in a minute yelling virgin, you're perfectly fine. 67% of the students in here who have had sex are already infected with HPV. That was math. Most of you aren't prepared to do math on a Monday night, so I will make it clear. Parents, you as well. There is no way any person in this room under the age of 22 tonight could have sex with someone who is not in fact a virgin and not get a disease. It is not possible. You will get something, it will most likely be this. Here's why. There is not a condom in the world that will protect you from HPV. I did not say it might slip, break, fall off, or you left it in the glove compartment. That is not what I said. Condoms, used properly, provide no protection at all from HPV. HPV is not transmitted the way HIV is. HIV, the virus that causes AIDS, requires the exchange of body fluid. We need blood, semen, or vaginal fluid exchange. Herpes and HPV are both skin-contracted viruses. All it takes is skin contact anywhere in the genital area and you're infected for life. And will infect everyone you have genital contact with after that. Let me make this clear. It doesn't take what some of you think is sex. You know how many teenagers we've had in our clinics test positive for herpes and HPV who thought they were technically virgins? Thought they could do everything else? See, what was their big fear? What were they worried about? They're worried about getting pregnant. So I can do all this other stuff. It's not sex. It's safe. It doesn't count. I'm still a virgin. I don't have to tell people who I did that with because that's not sex. Students, I am now going to give you the medical definition of sex. It does not help to tell you to not have sex if we have not defined sex. We have to define it. This is the medical definition of sex. This is the medical line over which you can't step. And if you have ever stepped over this line, you've risked disease and you need to get tested, and don't you dare tell anyone you're a virgin. Don't you dare. We have teenagers running around going, I'm a virgin, and they're infecting each other like wildfire. Here is the line over which you can't step. Absolutely no genital contact of any kind. None. Yes, that includes oral sex, which is mouth to genital. Oral sex is sex, hence the name, oral sex. And every single sexually transmitted disease, every one, is transmitted through oral sex. If you have had oral sex, you are not a virgin, and don't you dare tell anyone you are. And every single partner you ever have will have to know every single person you've done that with. Is that clear? Anybody still confused? Y'all know what genital means? Because I get about 100 emails a week from kids. Does that mean shaking hands? We don't usually have genital contact with people we're meeting in the hallway. You know, hello, nice to meet you. Here's a simple rule. If you will both abide by this rule at all times, you're 100% safe. You can run out of here yelling virgin. Here it is. Ready? Keep your pants on and zipped. Both of you, all the way. That's safe. Any genital contact is not. Was that clear? All right, good. And there's HIV. I'm not going to spend time on it. HIV causes AIDS. It's deadly. You don't want it. Equal opportunity, hurting boys and girls the same. In light of that, what are you being told to do to make sure you don't get this virus that will kill you? If I said safe sex to teenagers in Wisconsin, what would most of them say? What's safe sex? Condoms. Sure, hey, Pam, I can sleep with 18 people. I got a piece of latex. Safe. Students, condoms aren't safe, never have been, never will be. The only safe sex is a safe partner. Someone who has never had sex, or if they have, hear me carefully. It has been 5 years from the last time they had sex of complete abstinence. Please have them virally blood tested. It's worth whatever it costs. I could have sex 1,000,000 times with my husband who's only been with me, never once use a condom, and I will never get a disease, ever. I could have sex one time tonight with some guy I meet at the hotel. later tonight, use a condom and be infected for the rest of my life. It has nothing to do with latex. It has everything to do with who you're having sex with. What if we didn't have AIDS and genital warts and herpes and syphilis and gonorrhea? What if I could give you a super condom? I sleep with 30 people. Kids get desperate. What if I use 5? A bodysuit. There must be a way. Are there other reasons to wait? I think so. I'm actually one of those insane, crazy people who actually believes that sex involves more than a few body parts touching. I am so old that I think that sex involves a little bit more than the biology. I am such a dinosaur, that I actually think sex involves your heart and involves your soul. And there isn't a condom in the world that will ever protect your soul. It's not a game. It's not a recreational sport. It's not hooking up. It's not friends with benefits. It's not all those things that MTV has told you it is. It is the most amazing gift of self and intimacy you will ever give someone. And when it becomes a game and a recreational sport, it will forever lose its ability to mean, I really love you. It will forever lose that ability. I met my husband in college. He was 23 when I married him, and he was a virgin. Girls ask me all the time how I knew. Girls' first date, we were both living on campus. He called my dorm, asked me to dinner. First date. He said, Pam, I've not had sex, don't intend to until I'm married. In order to make sure that doesn't happen, here's the boundary. And he laid it on the line. He said, you can't deal with that, date someone else. Wasn't enough to say it. For 2 years, he kept it, treated me with respect, and there's not a diamond in the world he could have given me 24 years ago that was more valuable than what he gave me. Himself, with no past fear, disease, nothing more valuable. A lot of you have never heard your worth waiting for. Hear it from me. The person you're going to spend your life with is worth your best. And you don't have to throw yourself away on relationships that are temporary. There might be some students in here who've had sex, and tonight you're saying this wasn't for you. Tune me out already. Maybe sitting there thinking, well, let's hope all those other kids are listening, and I wish I could say I'd waited, but I'm not, so it's not for me. I'm not a virgin. If you're not a virgin, you've tuned me out, tune me back in right here. I do not care what you did before you walked in this room tonight. I care what you do when you leave. And you can walk out of here and say, it doesn't matter, I've already done it, and I don't need to listen to you. And you certainly do not need to listen to me. Do whatever you want. And maybe up until today, you've escaped some permanent physical damage. I don't know that, and neither do you. Get tested, please. If you will do nothing else, girls, you have to do this. You need to get tested this week, again in 6 months, again in a year, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Who's to say the next time you decide to put this gun to your head, it doesn't go off? Who's to say the strain of HPV you're carrying tonight won't kill you, but the one you get at prom will? When are you going to begin to build integrity, discipline, trust? You could start tonight. Don't ever let anyone tell you that because you've had sex in the past means you have to keep doing it. You don't. You choose. I had a little girl in Anchorage, Alaska. She ran up to me, got right in my face. She said, Pam, I'm a recycled virgin. I said, cool. She said, when I was 15, I had sex. It left me with a lot of pain, and I knew I didn't want to keep getting used and dumped. I knew I didn't want scarred fallopian tubes and cancer. Pam, I wanted sex to mean something. And I made a commitment to God, to myself, and my future husband that I would not have sex again until the day I'm married. I said, sweetheart, that is awesome. Someday when you get married, you're going to have to tell that boy what you did when you were 15. You will have to rehearse your past. He has to know. But sweetheart, you're going to be able to look at that boy and you're going to be able to say, for the last 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, whatever it is, I have waited for you. I have kept myself pure. I have walked in integrity for 7 years. And we're going to know what kind of damage was done. We've had years to make sure she's okay. You can walk out of here and keep putting your life at risk. Or today you can say no more. Choice is yours. Someone's going, yeah, but Pam, you don't get it. You have no idea. If I went to my boyfriend or my girlfriend and told them I loved them, Pam, we love each other, but I don't want the sex, they'll dump me. Pam, if I won't have sex with them, it's over. Really? What's your relationship based on? It's based on sex. Want to test a relationship that's sexual? Want to find out if they love you? Do you even care to know? Got a challenge for you tonight. Stop. See what's left. If they love you, they'll still be around. If they dump you, because you won't have sex with them, you just learned. As painful as it is, it's a lot less painful to learn it when you're 17, sweetheart, than 8 years into a marriage where someone's cheated on you, dumped you, and left you with 2 kids. Learn it now.